Today's show, we're going to get a little political. This is a show of entertainment and enlightenment. And today we're going to try to enlighten. We're going to try to have an adult conversation. Shout out to Egberto. I can't say his name. Egberto Willies. Anyway, he has a show on KPFT 90.1 Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. It's a political show. And I kind of want to touch base with what the things that are going on. With the Democrats taking over the House and whatnot. I'm just going to focus on one point, and that is socialism versus capitalism.
Because you know how I feel about that stuff.
Yeah, it's just going to be about money and about self-responsibility. We're not going to get into other aspects of politics.
You say get into.
Yeah, get into. I mentioned that I'm going to call this guy. I'm going to call him right now.
He's a millionaire?
I don't think he's a millionaire. If he is, I'm going to ask him if I can borrow some money.
I wouldn't ask to borrow. Can I have? I'm not going to pay you back. I learned that already.
His phone number is 281. So no, I'm just kidding.
I'm here.
Egberto.
Estoy aquí.
What's up, brother?
I'm all right, man. How you guys doing? I've been having fun listening to you guys.
Oh, awesome. Did you get to listen to the last show I sent you?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about it? Pretty good, huh?
Oh, great.
So what winning?
You guys have all right, you guys have it going on, man.
Thank you. Hey, look, I gotta tell you something, but don't be offended, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So
you're gonna get offended.
So I caught wind of your show probably 2 or 3 years ago. All right.
Right.
But whenever I listen to your show, as I drive for a living, I drive an 18-wheeler, right? So I can't write. Yeah. I can't write anything down. So I caught your show. The first time I caught your show, I noticed you used the same intro as I use. The Cybertron clear?
Right.
The ready. 1, 2. Let me play it real quick. Let me play it. This one right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So you use that, right? And it caught my attention. I'm like, oh shit, who's this guy? Anyway, so I listened to your show and you come out as very fair. Anyway, so I was gonna tell you was that you would say your name, right? And I couldn't write your name down. So how I remembered it, your name is Egberto, right? Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Egberto Willies. All right. So how I remembered your name was, like I said, don't get offended. Because I couldn't write it down, I said egg burrito. Egg burrito. So that's how I'm like, I gotta look up this guy. I like his show. He makes sense, and so that's how I remembered your name, egg burrito. So then when I got to a place where I could write, like I pulled over or I'm at a red light or whatever, I wrote down I wrote your name, but I remembered it, egg burrito.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
You know what? I don't mind that at all. That is cool because at least you remembered it. I mean, at least you didn't say huevo berto.
That's egg burrito.
Hey, that's not a knock on you. That's a knock on him. He couldn't even remember that. So he uses food as a reference.
So anyway, as I was saying, you have a show on. You're on Tuesdays now, right?
I'm on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock p.m. KPFT 90.1 Central.
Yes. Yeah. Are you from Houston? Do you live in Houston?
I live in Houston now. Yes.
Yeah, because I noticed your phone number is a 281 number.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
281-546.
Hey.
No, okay, I'm kidding.
Hey, what you trying to do to me?
No, hey, look. So, with the Democrats taking over, and I try not to get political, so I just want to stick with socialism versus capitalism. And I just want to, as far as politics go, you heard us talking about millionaires for, they play football, the Pro Bowl's going on. And so You say that you think socialism works, right?
I said democratic socialism.
Okay, I looked that up. I looked up it started with Bernie Sanders. He mentioned democratic socialism. Yeah. And I, for years, I've been trying to find out where socialism works, right? And then for this past week, ever since I asked you on, I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday, and so I've been really trying to find out where socialism works. And I didn't find a difference between democratic socialism or just regular old socialism. I found different forms of socialism, but some of them were dated back to like BC and like thousands of years ago. So how does socialism work? Because I have my thoughts on how capitalism works. So sell me. So in other words, sell me on socialism.
I'm going to sell it to you, and I'm going to do it in a fun fashion because you have a fun show. So we don't want to bore the people here.
Exactly.
Okay? You know,
Thank you for that.
Am I right, guys?
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's the deal. Capitalism says the following. Capitalism says, I'm going to use you, and you're just capital, and I'm going to take everything. I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars, period, no matter what happens, no matter how much money I make. And because I am the one who owns all the material, the capital, I'm going to take that money, and it's all for me. And what happens then is exactly what we see in the country right now. Everybody trying like hell to make some money. They can't make some money. They don't get enough money to survive. That's why you have in all these different places, the mother living with the daughter, living with the son, all that kind of stuff, right? That is what capitalism breeds by design. Now, democratic socialism is different, and don't look it up in the dictionary, because what they did in the dictionary is they lied to you. They made sure that socialism and communism had the same definition. That is not true. The Powell Manifesto, this little document that was written by a guy named Lewis Powell, came out and said, you know, we got to fool Americans. They're getting liberal. And when they get liberal, guess what happens? They get intelligent. And when they get intelligent, guess what happens? They realize that we're screwing them. So what has to happen then?
Okay,
they had to miss. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to say, because I have the definition of socialism, but you said that it's wrong, right?
It's a lie. What you see in Webster, it's a lie. Look, if you take a look at socialism and communism in the dictionary, they both say that the state controls all sources of production. It's a lie. Okay, it is a lie. Here's what.
So would you say that, or in your opinion, should people own their rights and their own? Because that's what it says. Capitalism. Capitalism says it's a. Let me just read what socialism says. Even though you say it's wrong, I just want to let you know what I read. And this is according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary. It says a way of organizing a society in which major industries are owned and controlled by the government rather than by individual peoples and companies. Right?
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
If that's right, it's wrong or it's right?
It is absolutely wrong.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just asking you. Let me tell you what capitalism says. Capitalism says so. Socialism says that industries are owned by and controlled by the government. Capitalism says a way of organizing an economy so that things that are used to make and transport products are owned by individuals, people, and companies rather than the government. So you're saying that socialism is the definition of capitalism, right? Am I right?
No, I'm saying that the definition of capitalism that you just read was a lie, and the definition of socialism that you just read was also a lie. And the reason they had to lie to you is so that you would support it. Let me tell you what capitalism is. Capitalism is the taking of companies that you created. Let's say, Tommy, you own a truck. You have your own trucking company, right?
Oh, my God, I so do.
Somebody,
how do you know that?
Huh? You just told me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You just told me that.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did.
You just told me that. So you own your truck, you have your company. Somebody comes up and say, you know what, Tommy? I'm going to go ahead and give you $100,000 for your truck, have you work for me. I'm going to then take that $100,000 and split it up into 10,000 pieces and sell it to 10,000 different individuals. Those 10,000 individuals are going to sit down at your pool and do whatever the hell they want. And you, Tommy, as you bust your butt driving that truck every day, a piece of that profit goes to each of those 10,000 people that are sitting down at your pool. That's capitalism. Capitalism says we turn everything into a product, we capitalize it, and a few people who have capital can make money out of it. Now, in your case, I believe in democratic socialism and free enterprise. It is not the same thing as capitalism at all. Free enterprise says, Tommy, you have your truck. All the profits that you make with your truck is yours. Everything that you own your truck, you own everything. But here's the deal that we make with you, Tommy. Because you drive on those freeways that you don't want to bust up your truck, you're going to pay enough taxes so that those freeways are fixed. Because you, Tommy, can get in a wreck and get hurt, we want to make sure that a lot of taxes that you pay, you get health care. Hey, Tommy, guess what? The environment that's getting messed up, in Pasadena, where we call Cancer Alley, those capitalists make sure that Cancer Alley survives. Because here is the deal. They throw all that stuff into the air, and guess what happens after that? Those people die. You don't, because we're there to protect you. So we have to have an honesty in the way we define these terms, and then we can go ahead and do some real stuff.
Okay, you gave a scenario that's never going to happen, because if somebody says, hey, I'm going to give you $100,000, blah, 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 and then divide up this and that, my point is, no, I'm not. I own what I own, and nobody So I work for myself. I don't have a boss.
Yes.
Per se.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to taxes, I send my money to charities that I believe in. For example, I gave 500. What we gave $500, but I got credit for it. For Pancho Claus, we gave Pancho Claus $500 this past Christmas, right? And that's tax deductible. Yes. I also give money to KPFT. Reason is because I like to listen. I give money to KPFT because I want to keep you guys on the air because I so disagree with almost all the shows. But the thing is, I disagree, but I listen because how can you know that you disagree with someone if you don't at least listen, right? Right. So I want you guys to stay on the air. So when people give to KPFT, it's tax what do you call it?
Tax free or tax deduction?
Tax deductible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I usually pay about $3,000 a year to the IRS, which I'm going to ask you about the IRS. But at the end of the year, I have an accountant that I show my tax deductible receipts. So I wind up paying nothing to the government. My money goes directly to I pay MD Anderson and a few other things. I'm not saying this just to boast. I'm just saying how I operate. So all my money goes to where I want it to go and not to the government because I don't trust the government in the sense that, you know, so I mean, if somebody else wants to pay for the roads and do all that, yeah, fine. I don't, my money goes where I want it to go. That to me is capitalism. Okay. Now, when it comes to the IRS, which I just brought up, do you like the IRS?
Yes, sir.
You do?
No, I don't like IRS, but I know that we need an IRS, but I don't particularly like the IRS. I don't. Do you
like tax day? Like when tax day comes around, are you like excited to pay your taxes?
No. I
think none of us are.
Hey, here's the deal. Tommy. I don't. Nobody likes to give away that money that in taxes, right? I know it's a necessary evil, and the necessary evil is so that I am willing to look here. I like to go to the grocery store and buy milk and eggs and all of that, right? And for that milk and eggs to get to that store at a price that I can afford, Tommy has to be able to take his truck and drive on the roads that my taxes build and take Tommy to H-E and Safeway to deliver those products. So my thing is I don't mind paying taxes so that Tommy can get his job done. Tommy should not mind pay taxes so that those things can happen. That's why we have a society and not laissez-faire. If we don't have roads, Tommy ain't got a job. If we don't have a whole lot of these things, Tommy ain't got a job. So my thing, Tommy, is like I don't want too much taxes and I don't want too much income either because this economy wasn't this. Let me finish. Let me explain that because that goes. When I say too much income, I mean in the millions. Now that's what I'm talking about. Let me tell you what I mean by that.
Okay,
right?
wait.
Tommy.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I was going to tell you, get to your point, but I was going to ask you, what do you define as rich? Now, not
I don't know.
Not health.
I don't know.
Just money, just a dollar amount.
Tommy.
I do know.
Tommy, I don't know.
I have an answer.
What is it?
You ready? Let me give you a chance to answer it again. I'm talking about just dollar amount, not health, not family, none of that. Just straight up money.
I don't.
Like annual income, right?
Let me tell you why it's above my pay grade.
Yearly.
Let me tell you why I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't know.
Okay.
I am not smart enough and live in enough different places.
I think I am on this part.
Exactly.
I think I have an answer. Go ahead.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm gonna wait for your answer because I may have to answer your answer.
That was a smart one.
Okay, look,
because Tommy's talking all over you.
Here's my answer on how I define rich. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Rich is the sum of what you own versus what you owe. The difference of what you own and what you owe.
Okay.
Let me explain it. You have two people.
That's net worth.
Yes. Let me explain it. You have two people that make $100,000 a year. Two different people, whatever. They make $100,000 a year, right? One lives beyond his means, and he has a house that he still owes. He has 2 or 3 cars. He has a boat, and he's paying. He still owes all this money. You have the other guy. Now we're not talking about families. We're not talking about wife, kids, nothing. Just 2 guys.
Right.
The other guy makes $100,000, but he bought a modest house. He has a car and maybe a boat or whatever, but it's all paid for. So they both make $100,000, but the one guy owes $500,000 to whoever, right? So it's that difference. That difference is how rich he is dollar-wise, even though they both make the same amount. One still owes, the other has all his stuff paid for. That sum, that difference in between, that is how much you're
wrong and you're right.
No, I'm not.
Right.
How?
Because you're not putting a dollar amount, and you can't tell somebody what's their living expenses of what it is. So there's never going to be a right answer, like he says.
But that's a gauge. That there's a gauge of how rich someone is. The difference of what you own and what you own and owe. Right? Does that make sense?
So basically, you got one from a good family and another one from.
In other words, somebody who looks like they're rich. In other words, Donald Trump is not rich because Donald Trump is not really a billionaire.
Because he owns so much.
And all his owes, you'll notice that it's not even $1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay? So you are absolutely correct in your definition, Tommy. 100% correct.
Hey-o.
So, but I still don't know the answer to what that delta, that difference. I still don't know what rich means. That is for all of us as a society to determine, right? Okay. Because let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, okay? When Jeff Bezos, and I don't know if you read my last blog, when Jeff Bezos is worth, not worth, but has $160 billion, right? That's what he has.
Yeah.
That's not money he made. That is the intellect of all those people that know how to do things that Jeff Bezos don't know how to do. All he was able to do, and this is the difference between capitalism and free enterprise. What Bezos was able to do is use his capital to buy like slaves, engineers, and these other guys who he pay a fixed amount to.
Engineers aren't slaves, though.
No. Yes, I am an engineer. I'm an engineer, okay? And I can tell you when I worked for NASA, when I worked for Ford Aerospace, when I worked for PRC.
How much money you got?
Realized, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell you that.
He said I'm rich.
I can't tell you that. Brother, I can't tell you that, but here's what I'm trying to tell you, my dear brother. Because, I think all of us agree more than we think.
Yeah.
I honestly think you and I, Tommy, if we sat down and drank some coffee together,
we were going to sit down. You drink coffee, I drink beer.
You drink coffee, you drink beer. We'll be like, oh man.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted you on the show, because you're very fair. You're not argumentative, because this is Party 103, not Argue 103. I've said that many times.
You're no brother, and I love your show because it has energy, and I have a lot of energy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. Let me ask you this now, because that was a question that I had to get to, like, how do you define rich? Another question. Minimum wage. You're for minimum wage should be $15, right?
I don't get that.
More.
Okay, more. So 16, 17, 20.
Why. It's about $22, and let me tell you why.
Okay, wait. Before you tell me why, let me tell you what my answer is. Then you can tell me why. Okay. I think minimum wage. You got to hear me out, though. I think minimum wage should be. I think minimum wage should be $0. Zero. So go ahead.
I know where that comes from.
Okay.
I know where that comes from, and I understand that, because what you want, you believe in a mythical market, my brother, in which the market is going to determine what minimum wage is going to be.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I understand that concept, but that concept has failed. Let me tell you what I mean by that.
Yeah,
brother.
when it fails, that means even when capitalism fails, that's capitalism working. That's capitalism working.
No.
Yes, it is.
You and I gotta disagree. You and I gonna have to go get that coffee
and that beer, because I went in on this conversation because I feel Tommy is wrong too. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's $22. Let me tell you why it's $22.
Okay.
If you believe, actually you are consistent, so I can't argue this point with you. But the point that I'm gonna argue with the rest of people who believe zero, because there are a lot of people who believe $7 or $7.50 or whatever. Okay, it goes like this.
My daughter makes minimum wage.
There you go. The minimum wage back several years ago, I think it's like 15, 20 years ago, was $7 an hour.
Yeah,
$7.25. If you extrapolate inflation and what that $7 bought in 1980 compared to what it buys in 2019, then what we have is that it really should be $22, and businesses who are making that delta amount of money should be able to afford it, given that it was $7 in 1980. The truth of the matter, my brother, is corporations, capitalism is killing the middle class. Yeah. You are different because you are in a high economy. You are like I was. I have my own software company, okay? So I could straddle both fences. I could be a Republican, I could be a Democrat, I could be a capitalist, or I could be a socialist. It didn't matter, because I'm in that sweet spot. Brother Tommy, you are in that sweet spot. Here's the deal. Most Americans are not in that sweet spot, and those are the people I fight for.
Okay, and we need people like you out there, because I'm not going to create a radio show.
Like you.
I'm not going to make a radio show.
Let me ask him real quick, or if you can't hear me, ask him.
Can you hear Eddie?
What? No, what did Eddie say?
Turn that speaker up.
If minimum wage goes up, doesn't that just kind of go off to companies charging more to pay those minimum wage prices?
It does. Yes.
So it never really ends, because the more you
because you got to factor in inflation.
Inflation is going to be everywhere else, and it's going to be the same concept.
Egberto, how about this? Companies are always going to keep their profit margin
at 30-50%. Yeah.
For example, damn it, Eddie, the post office just raised the price of a stamp.
I work for the post office.
And he works for the Eddie works for the post office. They raised the price of the stamp from 50 cents to 55 cents.
And they did it right after the contract, so we didn't get none of that.
Yeah, I remember when a stamp cost 10 cents.
Yeah.
And a nickel.
No,
doesn't inflation? If you force companies to pay $22 an hour,
now McDonald's going to charge $12 for it.
Then inflation kicks in and all the prices go. I remember when a can of soda, 12 ounce, used to be 50 cents. Now it's $1. Double.
Finish. Can I answer it?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, that's okay. Here's the answer to that.
Where's Lane?
The reason it doesn't apply that way in a linear fashion is that wages is a smaller portion of the totality of the product itself, right? So what happened is this, my brothers. While inflation may be at 6% or 2 or whatever percent, when you increase wages, it's not the biggest part of the product. So a burger, we did some calculations, and I think a hamburger goes up by 5 cents or something like that if we pay $15 an hour, and I think it goes up like 12 cents or something if we paid $22 an hour. So yes, the prices are going to go up, but the amount of way you calculate economic activity is how much money gets spent. Because those people that make $22 an hour have so much more to spend. The turnaround is actually not linear. It is exponential. So what happens is you get more productivity.
I believe you're right on that. I believe you're right on that, but the owners and the businesses are the ones that set the prices, and demand sets the prices. So they're going to do whatever they feel. I get your point, but I just feel that there's the big corporate businesses are setting the prices no matter what.
Yes, I can't argue that. You know what? Guess what? What's your name again, sir? I forgot.
Eddie V.
Eddie V. Let me tell you something, hermano. And that's why I am into what I'm doing. Because what I want to do is prevent corporations from being slave drivers. Because what you just told me is they can extort us.
Yes,
we have an economy that can be extorted. And what I want to do is make sure that we have an economy controlled enough that it cannot be extorted.
I get it. I love that. That's what we need.
Can I explain my zero, in case there's people tuning in? Can I explain my $0 an hour theory?
Tommy's a good guy. He doesn't really want you to work for free.
No. Have you heard that theory?
No. Well, I've heard it, but go ahead and tell it.
The theory is, if you have no minimum wage, if you want to have a successful company, let me ask you, Eddie. If you want to have a successful company, are you going to take care of your employees?
Yes, I will.
And you're gonna pay them well.
Yes. And
maybe have some vacation time set up for them.
Yes.
That's me too. If I want to have as a matter of fact, I might buy another truck and put a driver in it. I'm going to treat him very well because I want him to be happy.
True.
And make me money.
Okay.
Now, if you are hiring and you tell people, okay, look, I need you to do A, B, and C, and I'm going to pay you $3 an hour, nobody's going to work for you. Therefore, you're not going to have a successful company, right?
Yeah.
And if you're an owner of a company and you don't pay well, nobody's going to work for you, and you're not going to be successful.
Tony,
yes.
Can I answer you that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Tony, can I answer you that, hermano?
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I love the theory, and in theory that would be true.
True.
In theory, you are absolutely right, but we don't have to look at theory anymore. We have it in practice. We didn't raise the minimum wage for decades, right? Mm-hmm. And in doing so, in effect, we got exactly that behavior is what should have happened, assuming your theory is correct. Mm-hmm. And what happened instead is companies paid as little as they could get away with. And what we have right now is an Amazon that the owner owns $160 billion, while many of his employees are on welfare. We have a Walmart whose who guys make tons of money. Many of their employees are on welfare. So we have you, Tommy. You are paying taxes twice because when you pay a lot of taxes from being a business owner.
Hell yeah, dude.
And after that, I know that. I'm a business owner too. I know that. But here's the other thing, Tommy. You are also asked to transfer some of that money that you made trucking to the Walmart heirs, to Jeff Bezos. Your money is going to them, not because you're buying their products, but because the government is subsidizing those companies, while the government doesn't subsidize you, Tommy. The government doesn't give you tax break. You see, the capitalist portion of this economy, the corporations, they can go to the government and say, hey, cut our taxes here. That $1 billion, that tax bill that Trump just passed, guess what it did to you, Tommy? You're going to realize that a lot of deductions that you used to take last year, and I promise you that you and I will talk about this again. A lot of them deductions that you took last year, you can't take it this year. Guess why? Because them billionaires, the capitalists, you took your money and you just gave it to them. So that's what I'm talking about, Edmano.
Okay. Well, one other thing that I wanted to say was with technology, there's a lot more young people making it. Like, you know, you got these YouTubers and so we're talking about even taxing them too if they become a millionaire on YouTube, like young people.
Yes, sir. And let me tell you why, sir. Let me tell you why, Tommy. And here's the reason why. They are on this stuff called the internet. The internet was designed by ARPANET. I mean, ARPANET was the initial internet, and
didn't Al Gore invent the internet?
Hey, you're funny. Actually, Al Gore, he helped promote the invention of the internet. But here's the deal. The real deal is
take credit.
You and I, Tommy, Eddie, we paid for the internet.
Yes.
So you got some high school kids now, after we paid for this platform, after society built out this platform, they can sit down in front of their computer at home because they went to a high school that made some good money, and they can make $1 million. And you, Tommy, who paid a whole lot of taxes to build the internet, you can't benefit from what these young kids are benefiting from.
Just for putting on makeup.
But why would I want to benefit? Why, that sounds like jealousy to me. Like if I'm jealous that.
No, it's not. No, it's not jealousy.
But what do I care? What do I care how much? What do I care how much somebody else makes? I have no. I don't care at all.
It's not about caring. You're absolutely right. It's not about caring what they make, but when they make something that affects others. In other words, let me tell you, the economy is one closed network. Okay, don't let anybody fool you. The economy is one closed system. And if somebody is taking up a bigger piece of the pie, it leaves less for other people. It's not this ever growing as much as we can economy. There's a fixed amount of growth based on the total value of the dollar or whatever.
How much money is in the how much U.S. currency is out there? Is there a number on that? You know what I mean? Like 850. It's in the trillions, like actual printed money. I should look that up. I usually prepare. I usually prepare.
No,
but I did. That's just a question I just thought of. Like how much actual currency?
Tommy.
And does
I don't know, but I think it's in the billions.
It's got to be more than billions.
What happens?
It's got to be more than billions.
No,
trillions, right?
I said in the billions. I don't know if it's trillions, because what happens is, you remember, money isn't printed a lot, right? Most of the money that we have today.
And when is like what year does this is an honest question? What year does currency, actual currency, printed paper? Actually, it's not paper. You know that dollar bills are cloth, are cotton?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, I read that.
It is.
Yeah, because I saw that on the History Channel.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so what year do you know? What year? Because I don't. What year does like dollar bills that are printed in let's say 1902? Does that dollar still? Is it still does it still work? I mean, can I go to the store and pay with that?
It might be worth something.
Yes, you can. Yes.
You can.
Yes, you can. But they'll take it. Once it gets to the bank, they'll recycle it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
What year is that? Do you know what year are they destroying?
I
don't know either.
Probably like the 50s.
But you know what's weird? I had a coin, a Susan B. Anthony coin, 1888.
Yes.
I have no idea where that coin is. I have no idea because since I found that coin when I was in.
You put it in a bubblegum machine.
I was in school. I was in high school, and my dad moved into a house. When I was in school, I was living with my dad, Anyway, we moved into this house, and in this bedroom, there was a coin in a safe, keep safe kind of thing. And I looked at it and I kept it. And I kept it. I looked at the year and I looked it up. At the time, it was only worth $80. And so I don't know. That was a Susan B. Anthony dollar, silver dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just weird how what if what if
yeah.
No, I don't know.
He put it in the peep show slot.
Man,
that was $120 peep show.
After I graduated, after I graduated and discovered a thing called women, I don't know what happened to it.
You know, to this day, I still have a silver dollar bill.
You still have a silver dollar bill?
Silver dollar bill, yeah.
That's DJ Retro. Hey, I think we had a good conversation. It was fun. It was a fun, good conversation. You didn't change my mind on anything, but you didn't render anything.
I like him.
Well, let me tell you. Hey, listen to me. I didn't change your mind. The next word that came or should come is yet.
Yet?
Yet. No. I like that
because I really enjoy my way of living. You know, I have to be in Mena, Arkansas tomorrow morning at 11. So that requires me to go home, go to sleep, be responsible. I'm not going to go out after this. I'm not going to.
You can't drink either, Tommy. No beer.
Yeah. No. I got to sleep for at least 7 hours. I got to wake up at least by 3 in the morning.
He's old.
Yeah, I'm old. But so my point is, I rely on myself to make good decisions, to go to bed, get good sleep. I usually stop, get me a coffee. I get in my truck and I head out. You know, I mean,
Tommy, can I interrupt you, please,
yes,
sir?
Go ahead.
One quick listen. Let me tell you. Remember what I said. You and I exist in a sweet spot in this economy.
In a what?
In a sweet spot.
Free spot.
A sweet spot.
Sweet.
You're in that zone.
A sweet spot.
Yeah.
We occupy a sweet spot in this economy. What I'm trying to tell you, Tommy, is you are a free enterprise guy. You are the free enterprise side of democratic socialism, the free enterprise side of capitalism. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
And there's nothing that would change your lifestyle in the kind of government in the kind of economy that I want.
Okay, I'm glad I thought about this question real quick. So I grew up in Denver Harbor. You know where Denver Harbor is? It's in East Houston. It's a kind of a poor neighborhood, but I didn't grow up poor. You know, middle class. My dad worked at Borden's. I don't know how much he made back then.
Yeah.
And my mom, sometimes she worked, sometimes she didn't. You know, depending on school and whatnot.
It's not considered poor back then, but now it's
it would be.
Yeah,
but you know, anyway. So growing up, I had this uncle, which we all have one of those uncles. Which maybe Egberto, maybe you're the uncle in the family that always talks politics and whatnot. Well, I had this uncle who always would say like, "Oh, you got to vote for Democrats. Vote for Democrats. The Democrats are for the poor." And Republicans, they're for the rich. And as a kid, like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, I remember thinking, okay, Democrats for the poor, Republicans for the rich. It was like I was being indoctrinated, kind of. But I always thought, like, what? Okay, now here's my question to you. You're for the poor, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do
everybody?
Everybody. Okay. But what are you for the poor to do? You know what I mean?
Let me tell you. I'll tell you what I'm for the poor to do. I'll tell you that, sir. I want to give the poor the opportunity, not the definition of success. I don't want to give them anything. I don't want to give the middle class anything.
You want them to earn it, right?
I want to give them I want them to earn it. I want to give them the opportunity to success. So here's the deal. Not everybody is as astute as you are.
Thank you.
I'm looking at you at this. No, here. I'm not kidding here. I'm serious here now.
All right.
Here's the deal, brother. I see you here you do your radio show and you have an intelligent conversation. At the same time, you're going to go back and you're going to run your trucking business. Who knows what may happen in the near term? Party103Radio.com or it's going to take off and eventually you're going to say, okay, John, you drive the but let me finish. You go drive the truck. I am going to do this thing. You have the wherewithal to do that because you're special. Hear what I'm trying to tell you here.
Okay,
this is what I'm saying. This is the part I'm saying. This is important what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But most Americans do not have that wherewithal. We don't have policy for the best of us. We have policy for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you still there?
You want me to?
Oh no,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm here.
Okay, sorry. I thought you cut off. I'm doing like behind the scenes. I'm doing some things, but no, I'm listening. Hey, well, so my thing is that okay, like let's say you're for the poor, fine, whatever. So am I. I'm for everyone. But the thing is though, like let's say somebody discovers something, a product, and they become successful, right? So they become successful and they start to make money. Things just start to grow, like the story, the McDonald's thing.
Yes.
You know that I don't know if you've seen that movie, but and also JB Hunt. I used to work for JB Hunt, but now I'm solo. But even JB Hunt, he started off with owning just one truck, and now he's a billionaire.
Right.
And my thing is, you were for that person, just an individual person, not a group of people, just one person, just one.
I got it.
One person. Now they finally made it, and now they're a billionaire.
Right.
Now you want to tax them, and it doesn't make sense to me. It seems like punishment.
Here's what I'm saying. No, it's not punishment, sir. Here's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not telling you it is punishment. I'm just saying it seems like punishment.
I know, and let me tell you why. And that is because we were indoctrinated into that belief, right? When I'm going to give you my example. I made a product. I made several products. You can look up Willies Computer Software Company.
Hey, free plugs.
What it is. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is I write software. I created a whole lot of products, including one that competed with One-Click that I couldn't sell because Amazon owned the patent. But here's the deal: the reality is, I invented these pieces of software that do a lot. I sold it to engineers all over the place, on companies, IBM, NASA. Everybody uses my software. But here's the thing. I sat down one time in my dark office with all the lights off and said, did I really, I made all of that. I was making a ton of money. I'm telling you. All of it is gone now that I've been a full-time activist for the last 10 years or more. But anyhow, I made a ton of money. And I had to ask myself the question, did I really make a ton of money? Yes, I was the one who wrote the software. Yes, I was the one who sold it. I did a whole lot of stuff. But here's what I recall. I am from a little country in Panama, in Central America called Panama. I came over here, and the good people of Texas paid a whole lot of taxes to create the University of Texas. I went to the University of Texas, and I got me a damn good education. I was very good. And after I got that education, I got into NASA and worked for all these other companies. And the taxpayers who got my education further because I worked at NASA and would take courses and all these other things, I was able to take advantage of what the taxpayers did for me. So in my mind, in the way I think, the way I grew up, my morals tell me that, well, it's not all me. It's you too, Tommy. When you paid your taxes, you helped me go to the University of Texas. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So my thing is, it's always about us not looking at self and thinking we alone did it. I could go ahead and say I'm the best coder on the planet. I can write some software like no other. I made Windows do things it could never do. But guess what? You know who gave me that impetus to do that?
Me.
All you guys that paid taxes.
You're welcome, man.
Yes, sir. So there you go.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
That's why I said. Let me tell you, if I sat down, if you and I
part of your
drank
business
coffee
now?
and a beer, you have the beer, I have the coffee. By the end of the day, I'm not going to turn you into a Democrat. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. Well, I'm doing one thing, Tom, you're going to say, oh, okay, I kind of get what you're saying. That's all I'm
saying. I kind of do, but my thing was, with the recent things going on with the, I so much not wanted to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That name, that is 11 syllables. Her name has 11 syllables.
Long.
I don't even want to call her that. I just want to call her people call her AOC, right? People call her AOC. But even AOC to me is too long. So, damn, my bad. That was my bad. Anyway, so AOC to me is too long, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to call her. I'm having trouble with my phone.
All right.
Man, I just want to call her.
I love her.
Do you?
I interviewed her, I have. If you go to my website, can I plug my website?
Sure, of course.
Go ahead.
I want to call her. I finally set up my joke. I want to call her AOC, but instead of AOC, I just want to call her AO, so I can play this right here. Oh man, it's not coming up. Why is it not coming up?
I'm scared.
Oh, never mind. The AO, AO, yeah, it's not playing for some reason.
Go ahead, let him
anyway,
finish.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me what you can tell.
Hey, I love AOC. I interviewed AOC in a year ago when she was running before she won. And you can find that interview with AOC and Egberto Willies at egbertowillies.com or politicsdoneright.com.
Hey, is that your real last name, Willies?
Yeah, my name is Willies. Yeah.
Okay. We are posting your websites on our comments page.
You're a wonderful person, sir.
Thank you. That's what,
Alrighty.
That's what everybody tells me.
Hey, Eddie, did you tell him he's wonderful too?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's all right. He's all right.
I want him I want him an award. Damn it. Need some appreciation.
Look, see, he's trying to take all the credit, just like you say, just like a Republican. He didn't want to share it. He didn't want to share it with me.
No, look,
I'm the one that gave him the job here, and now he wants to take all the credit. Like he did everything.
Eddie runs the station. I just do my dumb show. But here's the deal. Behind the scenes thing. Like you seen the studio? Yeah, I asked Eddie. These are my records from when I was a kid. I asked Eddie, hey, dude, I said, can we put some, I just think it'd be awesome. We could put some vinyl up on the wall. And Eddie's like, hell yeah, let's do that. We did it. We did one show, 1 year was my first year on Party 103. I've been doing this show for 6 years. But anyway, so we won, the station won, the show won, and Amanda Boo Boo Johnson, who usually runs the board, she's not here today, she won Best Engineer of 2018. Is that not badass or what?
That is badass. I've been doing politics done right for 6 years, and I haven't won a badass award.
You need to come to Party 103 and get recognized, son.
Well, that's why I decided to come on to Party 103, because Party 103 looks like it's no, you have to say it right. Party103Radio.com.
Damn, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is too is that we usually don't talk politics, and I didn't even ask Eddie because I usually kind of clear things up, but I just said like, you know what, I'd rather do and then apologize. No, but I knew, babe. No, but the thing is,
politics with me.
Yeah, I know. See, because I listen to your show, and I know that you have people that come on. You have some callers that call in that are kind of wacky, and I'll just say it like that. But when you have callers that disagree with you, I see that you don't argue with them, and I like that. And so I knew that having you on, we're not going to argue. You know, because first of all, first of all, I don't argue.
Let me get something straight too. I don't talk politics on here, but I love politics. I listen to it all day. I listen to CNN and Fox News because I like hearing both. I'm more independent because I just go for what I think works for the best for for everybody and myself. We all think about ourselves first and our situation, and then we go and think. I think because I came from Magnolia, which was poor, and we did have to go through some stages where we got assistance. So I think about everybody because it's also helps out everything, and then I think about my money getting taken from me. So I get everybody's point of view.
And me myself, I listen to both sides. I listen to my favorite radio guy besides Egberto Willies, besides is Glenn Beck. I love Glenn Beck.
Look at this contrast. That is good. To me, that is good because what happened is you get to ping pong ideas off of people. You know what I tell people? I live in Kingwood, right? This is a red Republican
Oh,
area,
hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is.
Well, let me tell you better. I live in the Starbucks, and I'm always in Starbucks. The only people I get to talk to 90% of the time are Republicans.
The Republicans.
They all, if they see my car out there, they see my car with that Texas UT license on, they are coming in there to have a discussion, to have a conversation, because they know they can talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah. So, New England or the Rams?
The Rams.
Oh, awesome.
The Rams, man.
Tom Brady, man.
Just like a Democrat. Go for the
go for LA.
Go for the underdog.
Yeah.
Go for the underdog.
Hey, well, look. Speaking of that, we're gonna play this game because the Super Bowl. We play this game. Did you hear? So you said you heard the show last week. Did you hear when we did a thing called Pub Challenge?
Yeah, you have to refresh me though.
I called 2 different bars. And I asked them four quick and easy questions, and we predict who's going to win the next game, right? There's 4 quick and easy questions, and and we determine who's going to win. Blah blah blah. And it's pretty funny. I think it is, at least.
You gonna ask him or what?
Should I ask?
I don't know.
He's gonna get them all right.
Go ahead.
Okay, look, you want to play
because you've already gone over like an hour.
Yeah, I know. You want to play? You're gonna represent New England. You want to represent New England because the other numbers I have are in LA. So represent New England. I'm gonna ask you these 4 quick and easy questions, and you answer to the best of your ability. Okay.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me get set up. Because I prepared this game, and I don't want to not do it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna get these right. There's no way you're not. Okay. Well, maybe. Okay, we'll see. All right. How long did President Trump agree to leave the government open? This temporary open.
Open or closed?
Open.
No.
Open.
He decided to reopen it, but for how long?
After 36 days. 36. Oh, for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah, it was 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Ding ding.
Ding ding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks. All right. So next question: how many Super Bowls has Tom Brady won?
5.
Ding ding.
All right. Next question: is it possible for a common human of common proportion to lick his or her own elbow?
He's over here trying it right
Yes.
now.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He just did it.
Okay. Next question is: did you try it?
Yes.
Yeah, champion.
That was awesome.
Well,
That was fun.
The answer I have is no, because it's impossible. Is it? Can you lick your own elbow?
You
must have
don't
a
know?
really long tongue.
You can.
I just did.
Gene Simmons, take it easy.
All right. If you say you did, then I can't. I tried
You
it.
should FaceTime it.
I tried it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should did FaceTime. All right, your final question. What is the 7th planet from the sun?
Oh, damn.
Oh, man, you going to do that to me? The
Huh?
last one is Pluto. Then coming back down is...
What were the 4th?
I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
Mercury?
I want to say
Jupiter.
Neptune.
It is Uranus. Heyo. Do you not know this show? Do you not know this show?
You got me.
All right. Hey, Egberto, Egg Burrito, thank you for coming on the show, man. I have one more thing I need to do before we have another show coming up after this, and they're coming on here in a little bit. And I need to finish up this show. Yeah, man, it was awesome, dude. It was awesome.
I had fun.
Hey, I'm gonna call. Okay,
your
phone. Your show is on Tuesdays, 90.1 here in Houston. I don't know the other frequencies like Galveston, Livingston. So go ahead and say all that.
90.1. I don't have the other frequencies, but it's 90.1 FM at 3 p.m.
On Tuesdays.
every single Wednesday.
Wednesday? No, Tuesdays. Tuesdays, isn't
I mean,
it?
oh, sure. Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Gah.
You don't even know.
I messed up.
No.
Let me start over. Politics done right. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Central in Houston, Texas, and we also simulcast on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitch, and Periscope.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you look. Thank you. Hey, look, you mentioned Wednesdays at 3. That's Brother Robert Muhammad's show, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it is.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I listen to his show too. I want him to come on this show, but he's kind of, I don't know.
Ask him.
Huh?
Ask him.
No, but he just no.
No.
I'm not.
No, thank you.
No, I'm
Tell
not.
me your show. I
He's
had
not-
a lot of fun with you. Okay, I had a lot of fun on this show, and we didn't talk about a subject that is so sexy, and we could still have fun. And I bet you kept your
Thinking
audience.
about sex
Yeah,
again.
it always comes to sex.
It always comes to sex.
Always
3
comes
seconds.
to
Every 7 seconds.
Oh,
Every
7
7
seconds. That's right.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna call you 713. So wait, don't say the number. Let me see if I remember. 713-526-5738.
Hey.
I love you, brother. I
Oh.
love
No, that's the studio number.
Oh, okay.
Eddie thought I was
that
getting.
is the
Eddie was
number
already
to the-
good.
That's the number to the
No,
station.
Okay. I thought it was his number.
Yeah, Eddie thought I was giving your phone
His is
number out.
832, remember?
Oh no.
713-526-5738. You know why I remember that number?
Egg burrito.
Egberto, do you know why I remember that number?
He thought of food.
I don't.
Because when y'all do y'all's fun drives, oh my God, y'all say that number like 1,000 times.
A million times,
Yes.
man. I know.
Man, y'all need to get sponsorship, man. Y'all need to get sponsorship. Like Ben and Jerry's is a liberal company. Why not get sponsorship that you agree? Like we have sponsorship here on Party 103. White Cup, Broadway Wings, Exclusive Bar, Daddy-O's, Fusion.
Mostly party spots.
Yeah, but it's like party spots. So why don't you get
still
just dude, because y'all do the fun drive. I tell you what, this is the only time I don't listen is when y'all do the fun drives. Because it's boring, man.
I'm gonna tell you, hey, let me tell you something. My brothers at Party103Radio.com. I want you to do something for me.
Yeah.
We are going to have on the 19th of February our fun. I'm going to be doing fun drive. But guess who I'm having in the studio?
Who?
Diane Trotman, who's going to change voting around Houston so that everybody can participate. So let it be known that it's not just going to be Diane Trotman.
Diane
She's the new county clerk.
Okay.
County clerk
Oh, that should be fun.
Harris County.
That should be an awesome time.
I know.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, I'm gonna make it fun.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna call your show and plug the hell out of my show.
Hey, listen. We are a community station, brother.
Hell yeah.
Headphones are dying. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, my headphones are dying. But anyway, So I'm gonna call you Tuesday. Hopefully, I can get through.
All right, brother. You have a good one. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Much
Thank
love.
you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take a shot for you.
Bye-bye.
All right.